Within the last week, 2 moms in the Carolinas have been criminally charged in the deaths of their babies.
One baby died due to alcohol, the other from fentanyl and meth. Now, in that case, a Rock Hill woman was arrested after police responded to Piedmont Medical for an infant death. A pathology report shows the infant tested positive for those drugs, dying 2 hours after it was born.
And last week, a Myrtle Beach area woman was arrested after a 3-month-old baby in her care died from alcohol poisoning. According to the arrest warrants, the woman breastfed the baby after drinking. The report went on to say that the baby's blood alcohol content level was 0.13, which, for perspective, is almost twice the legal limit for an adult. Just really sad cases here, and we want to bring in our Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes into this. So what does the legal process look like in horrible cases like this?
I mean, these are horrible. When I first read it, I was like, wow, how does that even happen? How do you kill a child by breastfeeding because you are that impaired? But the 2 laws that they're charged with, at least the individual in South Carolina at the Myrtle Beach case, unlawful conduct towards a child, an infliction or allowing great bodily harm towards a child. And these are ones that are there to protect the child, obviously, and if you've placed them in unreasonable risk of harm and affecting their life. And so that's probably, there's 3 prongs. That's the one that I think in the case with the alcohol or the fentanyl, that unreasonable harm, unreasonable risk, that's something that is foreseeable, that you should have known that, hey, if I'm drinking, that whatever I'm drinking will transfer to this child. And with the fentanyl, they didn't really go into how the child got access to the fentanyl, but I can say that all of that falls right into these statutes. North Carolina had something as well that they attempted to pass a few years back with the rise of fentanyl use and overdose. It was called to create the Prenatal Narcotics Drug Use Act, and those didn't make its way through the Senate nor make it to the House. But you can see in the wake of all things occurring that people are trying to find ways, more innovative ways to protect children, born and unborn.
There's got to be some sort of amount of grief here for the mothers themselves. You would assume that type of thing, but does that take into account in any way with the judicial system and how these things are worked out with charges and going forward? At
some point, sentencing for the most part, and whatever potential deal. I mean, if an individual like that would come into my office and look for representation, once I got all the discovery and saw all the facts, I'd have a conversation with the DA's office and attempt to work out some negotiated plea. You look at their criminal history, you look at, their conduct, and then the remorsefulness would help in terms of the judge when they get time to sentence them for the charge. But what I can tell you is this type of thing is avoidable, and it goes into the hands of the way that we look at this type of drug as opposed to the way that maybe crack and cocaine was looked at in the 80s and the 90s, where now we understand that there are treatment courts for individuals that have some type of substance abuse issues. And that's what this law from North Carolina was seeking to do. It was going to allow you to go into a treatment facility if you may have run into a case where you had harmed a child because you were using drugs, and maybe allowed you to avoid prison time and do some type of treatment in lieu of going to jail. And so those are things that are in place, but the remorse aspect normally just for sentencing purposes.
So what does sentencing look like for charges like this?
I mean, these are all felonies, and so this individual, both of these individuals should be looking at going to prison for these types of charges. But again, it's the way that the narratives have shifted in the criminal justice system with the way we look at fentanyl and the way we look at those types of drugs. With the alcohol abuse, the law really hasn't changed in that regard. This was clearly a foreseeable situation that could have been avoided. And so I don't think there will be much leniency on that individual. But if you're looking at the fentanyl one, there's drug court, there's treatment courts that most jurisdictions have actually now opened up and given greater access to a number of charges. I would see a case like that falling into that situation.
Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes, thank you.